everyone, and welcome to the show. Today, we're diving deep into something that's been trending online, but reflects a very real feeling: goblin mode. But this isn't just about messy rooms and snacking in bed. We're exploring the science behind why we crave comfort and even a little chaos when we're burned out.
Exactly, Molly. Goblin mode is almost a symptom of something bigger. We're going to unpack the hormonal roller coaster of stress, look at our evolutionary wiring, and discover practical techniques to regain control. Think of it as a science-backed survival guide for the modern world.
Let's start with the basics. What's actually happening in our brains and bodies when we're stressed? We're talking cortisol, adrenaline, the whole fight or flight response. Can you break down the neurobiology for us, Jason?
Absolutely. When we perceive a threat, whether it's a looming deadline or social media argument, our amygdala sounds the alarm. This triggers the release of stress hormones, preparing us to fight or flee. But chronic stress keeps this system activated, leading to burnout and that goblin mode urge to just escape.
So, how do we deactivate that alarm? We've seen a surge in mindfulness, breath work, even ASMR. What's the science behind these relaxation techniques?
They all aim to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest counterpart to fight or flight. Mindfulness and breath work, for example, stimulate the vagus nerve, which acts like a superhighway connecting the brain to the body, promoting relaxation and reducing heart rate.
Interesting. And what about seemingly counterintuitive things like productive procrastination? How can putting things off actually help?
It's about managing overwhelm. Sometimes avoiding a huge, daunting task to focus on smaller, more manageable.
Welcome, everyone, to today's podcast where we dive into the science of stress and explore some surprising ways to manage it. I'm Molly.
And I'm Jason. We often think of stress as this unavoidable part of modern life, but there are actually very effective techniques we can use to regain control. Today, we're also looking at sensory deprivation, which sounds intense, but can be incredibly beneficial. Let's start with understanding what's actually happening in our bodies when we feel stressed, shall we?
Absolutely, Jason. When we're stressed, our body goes into fight or flight mode. Hormones like cortisol and adrenaline flood our system. It's a cascade of physiological responses designed to help us deal with immediate threats. But chronic stress? That's a whole different ballgame.
Exactly. And that's where techniques like meditation and breathing exercises come in. Let's talk meditation. A simple guided meditation, even for just 5 to 10 minutes a day, can significantly lower cortisol levels.
Right. And it's not just meditation. Something as simple as a deep breathing exercise can make a huge difference. A yoga instructor once told me to try box breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, repeat. It's amazing how quickly it calms you down.
I've also found progressive muscle relaxation really effective. You tense and then release different muscle groups. It helps you become more aware of tension in your body and how to release it.
Now let's shift gears a little. What about gratitude journaling? Sounds a bit cliche, maybe, but it's surprisingly powerful. Taking a few minutes each day to write down. Ever feel like the city's noise just gets too much? Like your brain's constantly buzzing? That's urban stress for you. It's a real thing, and it's impacting our well-being every single day.
Exactly, Molly. It's that constant bombardment of sensory information that just overwhelms our nervous system. But what if I told you there's a way to hit the reset button, to find peace amidst the chaos?
Okay, Jason, you've got my attention. Lay it on me. What's this secret weapon against urban stress?
Sensory deprivation. Imagine a minimalist room, softly lit, and in the center, a flotation tank. It's designed to eliminate external stimuli, helping you achieve a state of profound relaxation.
A flotation tank? That sounds intense. What's it actually like?
Well, picture this. You're floating effortlessly in body temperature water, saturated with Epsom salt. No light, no sound, just you. And the science backs it up. We're talking microscopic shifts in brainwave activity towards deep relaxation.
Whoa, That's incredible. But is that really sustainable? I can't just live in a flotation tank.
That's where the practical application comes in. Molly, we can apply the principles of sensory deprivation in our daily lives. Think mindful breathing exercises, creating personal sensory havens, even digital detox strategies.
Okay, the digital detox I can definitely get behind. Tell me more about these sensory havens.
It's all about creating a space, even a small corner, where you can minimize distractions. Think calming colors, soft textures, maybe some nature sounds. Somewhere you can just be.
That sounds amazing. And what about ASMR? I've heard that's supposed to be relaxing.
Absolutely. The science of ASMR is fascinating. Gentle sounds, subtle movements, they can trigger a tingling sensation that promotes relaxation and stress reduction. It's a powerful tool.
So, what's the big takeaway here, Jason? How can we actually incorporate this into our lives?
It's about making self-care and stress management a priority. Molly, start small. Try a few minutes of mindful breathing each day. Create your sensory haven. Disconnect from your devices. It all adds up.
I'm in. I'm going to try that this week. So, what about our listeners? How can they get involved?
Join us for a community challenge. Let's all commit to adopting a daily relaxation practice and share our experiences. Let's find peace together, one breath at a time.
Welcome, everyone, to today's podcast, where we're diving deep into the world of stress management. We'll explore practical techniques to help you navigate the challenges of modern life and find moments of peace and well-being.
That's right, Molly. We'll start by understanding the biology of stress, then move on to the psychology behind it, and finally, offer some actionable steps you can take to reduce stress in your daily life.
Let's begin with the science of stress. Imagine a bustling city street, the sounds and sights overwhelming. Now picture a close-up of someone's stressed face, eyes darting nervously. What's happening inside their body?
Well, when we experience stress, our bodies release hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones can have a significant impact on our physical and mental health. Think of cortisol levels spiking rapidly.
And that's where simple breathing exercises come in. A certified yoga instructor in a serene setting can guide us through these techniques, showing us how to gradually lower cortisol levels through mindful breathing.
Exactly. Now, let's shift our focus to the psychology of stress, particularly how social media affects our anxiety. It's easy to get caught up in the curated perfection we see online.
It's true. Social media often contributes to feelings of inadequacy as we compare ourselves to others' highlight reels. But there's a solution, a mindful digital detox.
Yes, we'll explore practical tips on limiting screen time and prioritizing real-life interactions. We've interviewed individuals who have successfully reduced their stress through digital minimalism.
Those real-life interactions are so important. Next, we'll transition into a guided meditation session. Imagine yourself in a tranquil forest, the sounds of birds chirping around you.
During the meditation, we'll use binaural beats and calming nature sounds to induce a state of deep relaxation. We'll also explain the neurochemical changes occurring during the meditation, like the release of endorphins.
It's all about finding that inner peace. Finally, let's talk about personal outlets for managing stress. Think of people engaging in activities like gardening, painting, or playing music.
Finding those hobbies or activities that bring you joy is crucial for stress relief. We'll end with a shot of a peaceful sunset, reminding everyone about the importance of self-care.
Remember, stress management is a journey, not a destination. Be kind to yourself, prioritize self-care, and find what works best for you. Thanks for tuning in.
And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on living a healthy...
Welcome, everyone, to today's podcast, where we'll delve into ancient mindfulness techniques backed by modern neuroscience to help you conquer stress.
That's right, Molly. We'll explore how practices from centuries ago can actually change your brain and your life, starting with mindfulness.
Mindfulness isn't just some new age fad. It's been around for centuries. And now neuroscience shows us why it works. Studies demonstrate that regular mindfulness practice can reduce activity in the amygdala, the brain's fear center.
Exactly. Now, let's dive into something gaining popularity. Forest bathing, or Shinrin-yoku.
Shinrin-yoku, which translates to taking in the forest atmosphere, is essentially immersing yourself in nature. And the benefits are amazing. Studies have shown it lowers blood pressure and boosts your immune system.
It's a simple concept, really just being present in nature. But the physiological effects are undeniable. So, take a walk in the woods, breathe deeply, and let nature work its magic.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about something a little more, well, humorous. Laughter. It's not just fun, it's seriously good for your health.
Absolutely. Laughter releases endorphins, which are natural mood boosters, and it lowers cortisol, the stress hormone. It's a win-win.
And you don't need a comedian on call to get your daily dose of laughter. A funny video can do the trick. It's a simple way to lighten the load.
Now, for a more focused technique, controlled breathing. Let's talk about box breathing and alternate nostril breathing.
Box breathing is incredibly simple. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold again for 4. Repeat. It helps regulate your nervous system and bring you back to the present.
Alternate nostril breathing, or Nadi Shodhana, involves closing one nostril while inhaling through the other, then switching sides. It's great for balancing energy and calming the mind.
We asked our listeners to share their stories of how these techniques have helped them reduce stress. We had a great response from our community of listeners, and it makes great listening.
Here's a story from Sarah in New York. She says box breathing helped her manage anxiety during a particularly stressful period of work.
It's amazing how such simple techniques can have such a profound impact.
Now, let's shine a light on some surprising everyday habits that might be silently increasing your stress levels, starting with excessive phone scrolling.
The endless scroll. It's a black hole of information and comparison. Try setting limits on your screen time and being more mindful of what you consume online.
And don't underestimate the impact of poor posture. Slouching can actually affect your mood and energy levels. Sit up straight,